I'm Marша Karp. I'm from England, London. I was originally American. I have 5 children, 5 grandchildren, 4 grandchildren, and I run a training center for 30 years in England for psychodramatists and group psychotherapists, in which they study baby development and baby observation and mother observation and so on. And I train people all over the world in psychodrama, so I have a way of seeing the world through my work. It's wonderful.
Is it important, the connection of mother and her baby, the first very moments after the baby is born?
Well, I would say it's crucial, absolutely crucial, because the mother should have the birth that she wants, so she's in control of her baby, not the hospital team. I always think that the baby is born into a group, and the group is made up of the original attachment figure, and this attachment with mom, but there's the doctor, there's all kinds of people, hopefully the husband, because that's also important for the bonding, not only of the baby, but for the husband to have bonding. But the mother attachment is the most important thing in the birth for the baby, and the baby's attachment to the mother, so that when the baby feels he or she needs something, the mother is there. Unfortunately, in some countries, and I think it's true in Bulgaria, that the doctor decides for the cesarean, or the doctor decides who can be there, and the people have to pay to be there, and it's the right of the mother who's having the birth to not be so frightened, because there's an English author that writes about the triangle of pain in birth. One is tension, one is fear, and one is... Anyway, those 3 cause the physical pain, and if those are reduced, then the mother doesn't have a trauma in her birth, and the baby doesn't have a trauma. So the connection is made right from the birth process and right from the conception, the bonding. After all, the baby is in a protected environment, in a water sac in the womb of the mother. The baby hears the heartbeat, the baby is connected to mom for her feed and so on. And if it's taken away from the mother, the baby is traumatized, because often there's bright lights in the hospital, often there's a lot of noise in the hospital, often the baby is, could we say lonely, but is separated from that primary bond. Tension, pain, fear, and this doctor suggested that the mother concentrate on the cervix, making an effort to open up. And so if the mother concentrates on the cervix muscular effort and keeps concentrating on the picture, the pain and tension and fear are reduced. Now, it makes sense to reduce the pain, fear, tension, so that the mother births her baby in a relaxed atmosphere, instead of increasing the pain and tension without having the people around them who love them and who are hoping for the best for them and so on. I think it's tragic when the baby is separated from the mother, because the mother is worrying about the baby. Is the baby okay? Is the baby disturbed or crying all the time? Is the baby dead? I mean, the enormous fear of how is this thing that lived inside of me and was part of me is like a twin to that baby, and we know with studies in twins, the twin is only half emotionally there when the other twin is separated. Attachment is a mother who can look after and assess and see the needs of her baby. And that kind of attachment for long term is a functional attachment because the mother can observe what's wrong, what's happening, what the baby needs right from the beginning. If the mother is taken away from the baby, that's what's called a dysfunctional attachment, where the mother isn't there to notice what the baby's doing and so on. I mean, I think the long-term effects of this are both with the father and the mother, a lack of the original bonding time, and the child can feel, and I see it often in psychotherapy, that they can't trust anybody because their original needs weren't met. So how can you trust others to love you and care about you genuinely if in the early stages the mother is neglectful because that's what's expected of her? And I would say those nurses and doctors that are dividing the mother from the baby are creating a kind of abusive situation where both the mother is traumatized and the baby is traumatized, when it would be so easy. Because in Britain, for example, I wanted a Le Boyer, a French obstetrician, a Le Boyer birth, would be, and because I was a bit older, I was able to, 35 I was able to ask for what other women don't think they have the right to ask for. But those alternatives are human rights for the mother and the father. In fact, when my baby was born, we went to the gynecologist, obstetrician, and said, we'd like my husband to be at the birth. And he looked at us and said, where else would your husband be? Of course, this is the most important experience for both of you. So there's lack of trust in the long term. I think there's also an ability for the child to not make a fuss because nobody's going to answer it anyway. I think also the mother is unable to meet the needs of the child, and there's a lot of depression, postnatal depression, when mothers think they cannot give to the child what the child needs.